This is video one of the underbed battery install. I want to show some of the parts before they're installed because some of these details wouldn't be visible after installation. So just wanted to share what I came up with here. Hopefully it's going to work in the end. So here's some of my hardware. Made some threaded rods that are going to go into the battery. Got some 1/8 inch thick rubber washers, and then also some metal backed sealing washers. Here's the top plate that I showed in my thread earlier. There's been a departure on what I showed before. So first thing is I installed some 1/2 inch thick foam on here, which I intended to do. It's just I got that done. After I did that, realized that my vent placement wasn't very good because the top of the battery is flat. Vent located right around there. There's nowhere for the gases to get to there. So I started making some tubes that would drop down here so gases could get to the vents, and just realized that was way more trouble than it was worth. So removed the vents and instead installed them into the battery boxes. So I just drilled some holes, threaded them in, sealed up, and that should work well. And now I just need to get some plugs to plug those holes up. The other thing about battery boxes, those 1/8 inch washers I was talking about before, I adhered them to the inside of the box with double-sided tape, so I don't have to worry about those falling during the assembly process. And this is what it looks like after it's all put together. So when I put the batteries into the tray in the truck, the battery of course is going to be in the box because there's no room to drop it in later. However, these studs will not be installed, and that's because I don't want them to hit something, arc, etc. That'd be no good. So this is what's going to look like after installation. So the 1/8 inch rubber washer of course will already be in there. Then after threading the stud into the battery, slide the metal back sealing washer on, tighten up the nut, and then I can slide on the battery cables and install the lock washer and nut. So by having this nut here, that's what I can tighten up against. I can take the load off the battery and not strip out the battery. So I think that's going to work together nicely. And then the last thing is back to the cover. I cut the boxes so they're actually just a touch taller than the battery, and that's to make sure that this does provide a good seal when this is tightened down. But because they're so close, it's not only a seal, this is also the hold down clamp. So I made some threaded rods. Those slide through the holes, slide through holes in the tray in the bed. One on the end, one in the middle, one on the other end. And so that's what's going to not only seal the top of the battery boxes, but also hold the batteries in place so they're not bouncing around. And in the next video, I will demonstrate how it all comes together under the truck. And I think it's going to work okay.